Ever felt like you are constantly on edge, even though everything in your life seems fine? You are getting things done, staying busy, maybe even thriving, but deep down, there is this constant pressure, racing thoughts, and an inability to truly relax. If this sounds familiar, that quite persistent pressure might be something more than just stress. It could be high-functioning anxiety. The term describes a person who seems calm, successful, and put together, but inside, they're constantly battling anxiety. Sound familiar? Hello and welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. Today we're exploring how high-functioning anxiety can show up in your relationships, even when everything on the outside looks perfectly fine. High-functioning anxiety doesn't just impact you. It can also influence the people you're closest to, friends, colleagues, or anyone you deeply care about. It's difficult to detect because it doesn't always show up in obvious ways. But underneath that polished exterior, anxiety can quietly influence how you interact with others. Let's take a look at 9 ways high-functioning anxiety might impact you and your relationships. First, let's talk about constant worrying and overthinking. One of the most prominent signs of high-functioning anxiety is persistent worrying. You often find yourself caught up in a cycle of rumination, endlessly analyzing every aspect of your life. From work, relationships, and minor tasks, you might find it hard to make decisions, constantly questioning yourself, or feel like your brain won't turn off. Especially at night, a tiny thought can turn into panic. It's like trying to reach a place, but you keep driving around in the same circle. Next, let's talk about perfectionism. High-functioning anxiety often drives you to strive for perfection in every aspect of your life, including relationships. Whether it's being the perfect partner, friend, or family member, you set unrealistically high standards for yourself and feel like a failure if you fall short. This pressure can create tension. Those around you might feel like they can't meet your expectations, or they might notice your anxiety without fully understanding it. In turn, this can cause frustration and misunderstandings. Now let's discuss worrying when it comes to social events. High-functioning anxiety makes you expect the worst. Whether it's a family event, a gathering with friends, or a simple hangout, you are always on a high alert, worrying about how you are being perceived, what could go wrong, and how you will respond if it happens. This can lead to a lot of stress, not just from worrying, but from feeling like you have to be prepared all the time. Moving on, let's explore the habit of staying busy. If you have high-functioning anxiety, you probably have trouble relaxing, even with the people you love, because you feel like you have to be doing something all the time, whether it's doing house chores or planning for the next thing. There is always a need to be productive. You constantly thinking about your next move. However, this can make it hard to enjoy your downtime. Next, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked: showing up way early for your appointments, meetings, or social events. This is often driven by an underlying fear of being late or missing out on something important, which can add to your anxiety. While being early might seem harmless, it can create frustration for other people. They might feel rushed or pressured to meet your early arrival time, which can lead to unnecessary tension. Let's also look at the tendency to overthink conversations. You may spend a lot of time mentally rehearsing conversations, worried about how others will perceive you. Afterward, you might replay the entire interaction, analyzing every word and gesture. This can cause a lot of internal strain, which your loved ones might sense, even if you don't express it. They might feel like they are walking on eggshells because you're too focused on how it went afterward. Now let's touch on excessive apologizing. With high-functioning anxiety, you might apologize for everything, even when you haven't done anything wrong. You might feel like taking the blame, even if it's not your fault. You might be scared of upsetting people or being judged. So, you will try to keep everyone happy for the sake of making peace. Let's not forget the guilt that comes with saying no. When you have high-functioning anxiety, setting boundaries can feel like an impossible task. You don't want to let anyone down, so you keep saying yes, even when you're already overwhelmed. This can lead to burnout. Those around you may take advantage of your willingness to help, not realizing that you're struggling to keep up. Lastly, let's explore emotional suppression. You may seem calm and composed on the outside, but inside, you're holding back stress, frustration, or sadness. This might lead you to avoid sharing your true feelings with those closest to you. When you bottle up your emotions, your loved ones might sense something is wrong but won't know how to help. This can create a disconnect, as they may feel excluded from your inner world. To wrap it up, High-functioning anxiety isn't always obvious on the outside, but is on the inside. It often feels like constant pressure, worry, and guilt. Even when things are going well, it can be hard to slow down, relax, or enjoy life. Now, this doesn't mean there is something wrong with you. It simply means your brain is wired to stay alert, even when it doesn't need to be. If you think you might be experiencing the symptoms of high-functioning anxiety, getting help from mental health care professionals can help you unpack the root cause of your anxiety and give you tools to manage it effectively. Thank you for watching this video. If you have found it helpful, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more valuable content. See you next time. Take care.